On that note, creating things, whether you are a photographer, videographer, designer, filmmaker, you name it, can be a very lonely process. And I'm not saying that like it is a bad thing, because it's not at all. I actually quite enjoy that side of it because I'm very introverted, as are a lot of other creatives as well. I know that one of the times I'm at my happiest is when I'm alone and in my creative flow. Now, whether that is out and about exploring a new area, taking photos, or maybe even just sat in here editing photos or making a video. But it's just the way it is that as creatives, a lot of the work we do is on our own, so it can be lonely sometimes. I've been thinking a lot recently about creatives and sharing your work as a creative, because it is a scary thing to do, and I think a lot of that is related back to the fact that we do spend a lot of our time on our own with our own creative thoughts. But sharing our work is what we all want to do because we enjoy it, we're proud of it, and it's how we spend so much of our time. The actual creative side of the process is usually the most enjoyable part, but when it comes to actually putting your work out there into the big wide world, that's the much harder side of things. Because once it is out there, it's out of your hands what happens to it. It is no longer your little idea that you thought up and you've brought and made into reality. As people start to see it, people will start to pass their own judgments on your work, and that's where you start to get different opinions. Some people will like it, some people won't like it. You'll get some positive comments and you'll get some negative comments. But one thing is for sure, and it is the hardest thing to remember when you are putting your work out there, is that you, as the one that created that thing, are the one that has the only opinion that should matter. The fact that you actually take the time and effort to make something and put it out there and share it with the world should never be looked down upon, and it should be encouraged more than anything. And it is so easy as a creative because it is such an opinion-based thing. But the hardest thing to do is to not let those different opinions or maybe one negative comment stop you from doing that one thing that you love. It just so happens that because creativity is such an opinion-based thing, there is no right or wrong way to do something. There is no hard or straight facts as to what you can and can't do, like there are in other areas like maths and science and all of that. There is right and wrong. With creativity, we don't have that, so we have to try our best as creatives to accept that some people won't. They like things that we make, some people will like things that we make. But the world needs those creative people as much as it needs those numbers and facts driven people, and I think that can be very easily forgotten about sometimes. For example, when you switch on the news, it is all very hard, straight facts, science, politics, whatever, and it's always very negative as well. There's never anything positive on the news, even though there is so much incredible stuff happening out there in the world. We just don't hear about it on that scale on the news and things like that. And even flicking through social media is exactly the same. It's all negative, people complaining about the same things. But when you look further, there is so much incredible stuff happening. It's just we don't hear about it. I don't know, maybe that's what makes it a little bit more special when you find that creative thing or that positive bit of news. Maybe that's what makes it more special, I don't know. But as a creative, it can be so hard to put your work out there when you have all of these different external factors influencing you. And especially when you take into account as well that a lot of creatives are introverted in a lot of ways. I'm a big Noel Gallagher fan. His music has been in my life for as long as I can remember because I grew up around it. And a few years ago I was watching a documentary with him. I think it was probably around about the COVID time, sort of 2021 maybe. And in that documentary he said one thing which really made me realise just how special creativity is. He said that being creative is a gift, and if you are lucky enough to be able to create, then you should create, because there is enough shit out there in the world that the world needs it. And the more you think about that, the more it rings true. It doesn't matter if you are Noel Gallagher with a massive worldwide following, or if you're a photographer, filmmaker, designer who just likes doing small things on their own. Just share your work with the world, because you have no idea who it will inspire to start doing their own thing. So yeah, it can be tough letting go of that thing that maybe started out as a tiny little idea inside your head that you thought nothing of, and then slowly over time you started to make it into a real thing and it became reality. Letting go of that can be tough because you are going to start getting other people's opinions on it. However, it can also be one of the most rewarding things you will do as a creative. So definitely, if you are in two minds about doing it, just put your work out there. On that note, time for a very quick shameless plug about my own stuff. I have a new print available on my website and it is limited to 10. I have them here. I have made these myself with my own hands and it's the first time I've ever done it, so it's quite scary. But this is a photo that I took in North Wales, Anglesey, a few weeks ago, months ago, at the start of October. I made a video about that trip. I will link it down in the description below. It is all about photography and imposter syndrome, so it's kind of relevant to the same sort of thing. But this is a photo that I took just off Llandwyn Island, which is an island in Anglesey, and it is a small rock formation, and in the corner here there is a small bird flying and it perfectly matches the shape of the rocks. It's a very minimalist photo. I love stuff like this, and as soon as I took this photo I knew I wanted to do something with it, and I've got so many photos from that trip that I want to do something with, and this is the first step towards that really. So I wanted to try something new, so I decided to print this photo 10 times. I've hand mounted them, hand framed them and signed them, numbered them out of 10, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want one of these, you can hit the link in the description to my website, and once they're gone I won't be printing this photo in any shape or form ever again. So very limited numbers. If you want one, be quick, head to the link down below to my website, and yeah, hopefully you can be lucky enough to have one. Again, if you want to go and check them out and potentially buy one, thank you in advance, because it genuinely means a hell of a lot, the fact that you would take your time to go and have a look at my work and potentially buy it. If you're not interested or you can't afford one, that is absolutely fine as well. I completely get it. So yeah, that is it for this video. I just wanted to quickly talk about something that had been on my mind a lot recently, about just getting your work out there and being proud of it. And if you can do it and you want to do it, just do it. You might get the odd bit of negative stuff occasionally, but at the end of the day, you should be proud of the fact that you're making what you want to make and that you're actually doing something about it. Because the negative stuff, in my experience, usually comes from the ones that are jealous of the fact that you're doing something yourself and they're not. Or it's usually just the keyboard warriors that aren't doing anything themselves. So yeah, it's a win-win for you really. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go and check out my prints if you want to. I don't know how long they'll be around for, but who knows? I'm giving it a go. Yeah, see you in the next video.